from the heart. You feel me? Yeah. Welcome to the Washington. Watch these things about your life. Your vessel so prepared and strive. Take this tide and these quotas, baby. Drop your loads, speaking in code like it heavy, baby. Learn to forgive and stop stressing at the Washington. Watch these things about your life. Your vessel so prepared and strive. Let it break this tide and these quotas, baby. Drop your loads, speaking in code like it heavy, baby. I'm trying to forgive and stop stressing, man. Don't know about you, but I'm tired stressing, looking for my blessing. And everything is a life lesson, like fuck, man. Lord, that's enough droughts in the rain. A little bit of love had enough pain. Life feel like shit going down the drain, but a real nigga gon' maintain. Lost 4 jobs in 1 year. Became homeless, ain't shed a tear. Got to be let go of your inner fears when a real man was born here. And the man started marching uphill. Lord, put me up in time out. Prodigal son back in my mammy house. Rolling dice, trying to figure it out. Walking my truth, cause I want no family in view. Changing your vanish like poof. Now when they callin', I answer the phone like who? Where was you? When I was addicted, lost everything to my name. Go down on the shoulder, you was in the turning lane. Breaking no ways to make a new path. Was the last I will see who has the last name. See the Washington, watch these things about your life. Your vessel so with pain, hurt, and strife. Take this tide and these waters, baby. Drop your lows, speaking in code like it heavy, baby. Learn to forgive and stop stressing at the Washington. Watch these things about your life. Your vessel so with pain, hurt, and strife. Take this tide and these waters, baby. Drop your lows, speaking in code like it heavy, baby. Learn to forgive and stop stressing, baby. This son of God rose out of concrete. Furnace of affliction, fire at my feet. Refined not like silver, but a new creation. You know separation tears from wheat. Harvest coming, boy, you better sow your seed. I hope it ain't wayside, so you're choked out by weeds. There's a juice for every 12. Watch your company. Take the road, let's travel in these corner streets. Cause plausibly, aristocracies, atrocities become commonly hard to see. Walking cornerly, got you stumbling drunk on a Dollar Tree. About to be soul robbery, looking for reciprocity. You reap what you sow, tread lightly. The live boy is here, Jubilee. Lord bless the name lightly. Washington, watch these things about your life. Your vessel so with pain, hurt, and strife. Take this tide and these waters, baby. Drop your lows, speaking in code like it heavy, baby. Learn to forgive and stop stressing at the Washington. Watch these things about your life. Your vessel so with pain, hurt, and strife. Take this tide and these waters, baby. Drop your lows, speaking in code like it heavy, baby. Learn to forgive and stop stressing at the Washington. Watch these things about your life. Your vessel so with pain, hurt, and strife. Take this tide and these waters, baby. Drop your lows, speaking in code like it heavy, baby. Learn to forgive and stop stressing at the Washington. Watch these things about your life. Your vessel so with pain, hurt, and strife. Take this tide and these waters, baby. Drop your lows, speaking in code like it heavy, baby. Learn to forgive and stop stressing. All right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history breakdown class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using external references to back up and support what is biblically internally inside of the Bible. Today is also Labor Day, right? So we're going to pause from our normal series of breaking down the book of Genesis, and we're going to do a breakdown dealing with Labor Day, right? Is Labor Day a day of hell for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? What is the origins of Labor Day? What was going on during Labor Day, right? So I'm going to, matter of fact, Sapar, I'm about to send you something for you to read. 1 second. Let me forward this on over to you. Copy. Support. There we go. All right, I just sent you the link in Messenger. All right, the history and origins of Labor Day. All right, so click that link and just want you to read the first two paragraphs of the article. And we got to go ahead and read.
Welcome, sir. The U.S. Department of Labor, History of Labor Day. Observed the first Monday in September. Labor Day is an annual celebration of the social and economic achievements of the American workers. The holiday is rooted in the 19th century when labor activists pushed for a federal holiday to recognize the many contributions workers have made to America's strength, prosperity, and well-being. Before it was a federal holiday, Labor Day was recognized by labor activists in individual states. After municipal ordinances were passed in 1885 and 1886, a movement developed to secure state legislation.
What was those years?
1885 and 1886.
Does anybody know what year slavery was abolished? Anybody?
So, like, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, was it 1881, somewhere around there?
It was 1865.
1865.
All right. So slavery was abolished in 1865, and the first, I guess, movement towards passing a legislation for a national recognition of labor, right, was in 1884, 1885, 20 years after slavery was abolished. Now, let me ask you a question. Who are those people that they were trying to get? Were they trying to get the people that was sharecropping and doing the Jim Crow era? Were they trying to get them recognized for all the work and the labor that they had done? Were they trying to get the slaves that quote unquote built up America, or shall I call them the prisoners of wars? Were they giving them any type of recognition for all the work and free labor that they helped build up the economic infrastructure of the South end of America? Was Labor Day for those people? Who did it say it was for?
Was for the workers of America, which were the immigrants that came from Europe and all other places.
Right. So it's everybody else but you. It was the Irish, it was the French, it was the Italians, it was even the Chinese. You know what I'm saying? When you built the infrastructure of this country, they got more recognition for the work that they did in this country than you. Keep reading.
A movement developed to secure state legislation. New York was the first state to introduce a bill, but Oregon was the first to pass a law recognizing Labor Day on February 21st, 1887. During 1887, four more states, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York, passed laws creating a Labor Day holiday.
All right. So I want everybody to remember these dates. I want you to remember 1985. I want you to remember 1986. I'm sorry, 1885, 1886, and February 21st, 1887. All right. It's going to be very vital that you remember these dates, because we're going to come back to these dates after we give the scripture breakdown dealing with Labor Day for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And what did that entail in America? All right. So if you could, brother, if you could go to the book of Ezra, let's see, book of Ezra, I want you to start at chapter 3. You're gonna start at verse 7. All right. Huh? Oh, Ezra, not Edris. My bad, brother. Yeah, so the book of Ezra, chapter 3, and you're gonna start at verse 7. So one thing that you have to understand is that all work is rewarded. You know what I'm saying? All work is rewarded. I want you to understand that, right? Keep that in your mind. All work is rewarded. But the question that you have to ask yourself is, what has the work of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, or shall I say all labor, is rewarded, right? Because the reward for your labor is supposed to be the output, you know what I'm saying? The things that you do to support your home, right? But we're gonna find out what the labor that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have afforded them over time. And right now he's going to be reading from the book of Ezra, chapter 3. He's going to start at verse 7. Go ahead.
The book of Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
They gave money also unto the masons and to the carpenters, and meat and drink and oil unto them of Zidon,
Mm-hmm.
and to them of Tyre, to bring cedar trees from Lebanon to the sea.
You in Ezra?
Sir,
chapter 3?
Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 7.
Okay, I see you. Go ahead.
You want me to start from the top?
No, stop. Go ahead where you were.
And meat and drink and oil unto Zidon, and to them of Tyre,
Mm-hmm.
to bring cedar trees from Lebanon to the sea of Joppa, according to the grant that they had of Cyrus, king of Persia.
All right, so this is during the time of the Persian Empire, right? So Babylon is fell. So this is going into the Persian and the Medes, dealing with Artaxerxes, King Darius, so on and so forth, right? Now read.
Verse 8. Now in the second year of their coming unto the house of God at Jerusalem, in the second month, began Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel,
Shealtiel,
and Jeshua, son of Jozadak, and the remnant of their brethren, the priests and the Levites, and all that were come out of captivity unto Jerusalem,
Mm-hmm.
and the appointed Levites from 20 years old and upward to seek forward at the work of the house of the Lord.
Keep reading, verse 9.
Verse 9. Then Jeshua stood with his sons and his brethren, and Kadmiel and his sons, the sons of Judah, together
Mm-hmm.
to set forth the workmen in the house of God,
Mm-hmm.
the sons of Henadad,
Mm-hmm.
with their sons and their brethren, the Levites.
So what is taking place right now, to your knowledge, from based off of what's been read? So we know that we've just finished dealing with the Assyrian Empire, and we're under the rule of the Persians and the Medes. So what's taking place right now? It said that they just came out of what?
So this is the Southern Kingdom, and it's like the high ranking men are putting back the brothers that took care of the temple.
Right. But most importantly, it says that they're coming out of captivity. Right. So, but they're still subservient under the kingship and the rulership of Artaxerxes and the Persians and the Medes, because everybody got to pay tribute to the king. All right. So in order for them to do what they want to do, you got to pay your taxes. Right. So everybody's coming out of captivity, and instead of Yap, she going to go do her thing. She free. Monica, she going to go do her thing. She free. Sapar, you going to go do your thing. You free. And I'm going to go do my own thing. They're gathering together. Right? Give me Zephaniah 2:1, one of your favorite scriptures, Sapar. You understand? Because whether you're in captivity or not, whether you're under oppression or not, this is what the scripture says.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together. O nation not desired.
Who is the nation that is not desired? You understand? The nation that is not desired is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Well, what makes us say that? Because nobody desires to be black, Hispanic, or Native American. Well, or the saying is nobody wants to be everybody wants to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga. You understand? Like you want to dance and be a part of the culture, you know, you want to sing our rap songs and rap lyrics, our R&B songs. You want to adopt and steal our culture of jazz music. You know, hell, you even steal the hairstyle of our natural hair. I mean, they got a fad out in Japan right now where they got a process to turn fair hair into kinky coily hair. Like they take literally individual straws and they wrap hair around the straws and they let it sit under heat, and then they take the straws out so they can have an afro like you. You understand? We're a running joke in the world. You understand? Because everybody knows what we're made of, but everybody knows the inside joke that there was crafty counsel that was held up against us. That was all in Zephaniah.
Zephaniah, verse 2.
No sweat. Give me Joel chapter 1 verse 14, and then you're gonna do Joel 2 and 16. Because what's most important, no matter what condition that we are in, we are to be together, right? Nobody knows the condition in which you are going through what you're going through except for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The only people that can help blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead, read what you got.
The book of Joel, chapter 1 and verse 13.
14.
Slakia, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Sanctify ye a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of the Lord, your power and your cry unto the Lord.
You understand? So the first part of gathering yourself together, you are to fast. Does anybody know why you fast? Does anybody know the purpose of a fast? What is it? What Christ said, the only way that you can only exercise certain demons through fasting and prayer. Why did Christ say that? Go ahead.
Slakia, if I may, because you have to sacrifice and deny your flesh and deny the things that you want to do.
But what purpose is that?
To show the Lord that you are truly sorry about the commandment that you have broken or one sin you committed.
No, that's not necessarily it. So the reason why you sacrifice yourself is because it's symbolism of afflicting your soul basically upon death, right? So any dis-ease in your body, you have to afflict it, right? To remove it, right? When you're sick, your body, like people think that a fever is a bad thing. A fever is not a bad thing. To have a fever means that your body is actually operating at optimum level. That means your white blood cells are attacking whatever is trying to plague and kill the body. Right. You understand? So when you fast, you're afflicting yourself. You understand? You're making a symbolism of afflicting and killing your body for the Lord. It's a symbolism of killing the old man. So when we gather ourselves together, we kill ourselves because our lower nature is, I'm gonna look out for me and mine, you look out for you and yours. But when we have that mentality, we all lose. We've been losing having that mentality. Like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're at the bottom of the totem pole because everybody wants to look out for themselves. Now, I pose this question. Yabana, have you ever seen a homeless Chinese man in America? Have you seen a homeless Arab in America? Have you seen a homeless East Indian in America? Have you seen a homeless African in America? You know what I'm saying? Why is that? Yeah, exactly. So and this is what happens. They have infrastructure, right? If they see one of their brothers on the side of the road in a bad condition, they can say, "Hey, come with me. Come work in my shop." You know, you work in my shop. You stay in the back because they literally have businesses where at the back of the businesses it's like a little apartment. You stay here, right? I'll take a percentage of your check for housing you, right? But you stack your money to get on your feet. Once you get this amount of money, I'm going to move you here. Now, people like to think that America is the place of opportunity. It's a mixing pot. It's a melting pot, but it's really not. I've had the opportunity of seeing this face to face, going to different homes in different communities and doing installs, doing IT work, right? Like East Indians live in a neighborhood together. Arabs live in a neighborhood together. I talked to this Chinese dude, and he told, well, no, it wasn't. Was he East Indian? No, he was Chinese. So basically, I was like, man, I didn't drove around here my entire life. I never knew that this was a completely Chinese neighborhood because it's in the middle of A-Leaf. It's in the middle of the SWAT, but the entire neighborhood, it's not by where Chinatown is. You know what I'm saying? It's over there, kind of like by West Park, and it's a huge subdivision, and it's all Chinese people. And I was like, how were y'all able to pull this off? And he was like, well, it's what everyone should do. You understand? So basically what they do is they buy a home. They move somebody in here. You know what I'm saying? They move somebody in their home. And then when the property comes available next door, they buy that property. You understand? They move someone in there. And then when they move someone, what ends up happening over time, they own one side of the street. You own one side of the street. That means you basically own a block. Now you have power in the HOA. Now you make the rules and regulations in the HOA towards your people. And anybody that violates that end up getting fined. You get fined enough in the HOA, you're going to end up wanting to move. And they just push other people out of the community to where they own 1 street, 2 streets, 3 streets, 4 streets. Now they own an entire community, and they have the infrastructure to house people. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all we want to do is we want to look out for ourselves. They don't have that mentality. That's the reason why we're at the bottom of the totem pole. So the reason why you fast is, first off, to afflict yourself, to make yourself presentable unto the Lord. Secondly, they fast before they brought themselves together. They had to remove their fleshly desires out of coming together, because it don't matter what I want, what I think, or how I feel. Right now, the priority is the embetterment of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It may be some things that you do that I do not like. You understand? Hell, I might not like you, but you're my people, and all we have as a defense is one another. The only way that we're going to build ourselves up is if we work together. But before we can work together, you have to fast and purge yourself out of the situation. You understand? And then the second part, they did something that we don't do anymore. all of the elders in the community gathered together. You understand? And they commune with one another to find the path for the entire nation, and they commune with God. We don't have no more big mamas. Ain't no more pawpaws. You understand? Like, there's no, like, grandmas are like maybe 15, 20 years older. You understand? Grandmas and great grandmas is really like mamas. You know what I'm saying? And aunties. Because I saw a video that said like the mama was 55, the daughter was 35. No, yes, right. The daughter was 35, and then her daughter, I think she was like 15. Like, do you see that age gap? There's no wisdom there. You understand? There's no elders in our community for us to lean up on. Go ahead.
Salaki, if I may, sir, do you think that the issue that you are speaking of is our people, are we too influenced by as they say, the popular culture or the thing that's going on instead of a foundation?
I would definitely say that, but I will go a step further than that. Give me 1 second, brother. So it's if you ask a Chinese person, would you let your enemy educate your children? You know what they would say? No. If you ask the white person, would you let your enemy educate your children? You know what they're gonna say? No. You understand? You ask an Arab if they would let an enemy educate their children, you know what they would say? No. What do? We let our enemy educate our children. 1 second, brother. I'll get to you. Raise your hand. You know what I'm saying? When I call upon you, I got you. All right. So what ends up happening is, it's just like the scriptures say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart from it. If our children are classically conditioned from childhood to love this nation and to forsake their own people, what do you think they're going to do when they get older? When they see a brother in the club, they're going to hate him because their oppressor hates them. Everything, like gold in our community is a status of wealth. You know what I'm saying? We come from people that was fly. You understand? That knew how to come down draped. But if a person is seen wearing gold chains or having gold grills, they're considered not class. You understand? They're considered classless. They're considered ignorant, buffoonery. You understand? But when you see the Queen of England and King what's the new king? Was it King George? What's her husband? What's Queen Elizabeth's husband's name? No, it ain't Stuart.
What, Charles?
Yeah, King Charles. There you go. You know, when you see them when they come to court, like she had a diamond that was the size of a baseball at the end of a scepter. You understand? She had, and it was stolen from Africa. Like they had a picture of everything that she had on, all the gold, the crown, the draped out earrings, the bracelets, the rings. You understand? It's just like the song say, it's cool when they do it, probably when I do it. You know what I'm saying? But when your oppressor has all of these things on, draped from head to toe in diamonds and gold, it's considered regal. But when you do it, it's considered classless. Now, what were you about to say, brother? It was dealing with the children.
I was going to say, like, for the most part, they don't give children the experience they should have.
Go ahead, speak on the mic.
In school, they take away like pretty much the child's years to give them pointless information instead of giving them like the experience they should have.
When you say pointless information, like what do you mean?
like at a certain point, you start learning things that you not gonna be doing with the things that you with the career that you choose.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like if I was gonna be an electrician, I have no need to learn things that science teaches after a certain point.
Like what? I mean, I would think if you're gonna be an electrician, you would need to know science, brother.
To a certain extent, they try to force everything on a child, not knowing what the child gonna choose.
Well, I think more along the lines of, you know, teaching. You know, I'm 38 years old. I've never used Pythagoras theorem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've had no need to use the theory of relativity. You know what I'm saying? I've had no reason to use the formula for gravity. You know what I'm saying? So in that notion, I agree with you. You understand? But here more so, we're talking about the programming of our children. Our children are programmed to love everything that is not them, which inertly turns them inward to hate themselves, which is why we have to fast. We have to purge out our fleshly desire. Your fleshly desire is to bang on your brother. You understand? To mean mug your sister. You understand? Your brother step on your shoes in the club, you ready to kill him over some shoes that got somebody else's name on them. That ain't even your name. You know what I'm saying? Like the House of Gucci, they hate niggas. You know what I'm saying? Balenciaga, they hate niggas. You know what I'm saying? They want your kids, but they hate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we have to learn to put value back in ourselves. The only way that we're going to do that, you understand, is by sacrificing ourselves. All right. So let's go to Joel chapter 2, verse 16. When you got to go ahead and read it. The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 16. I think somebody at the door, support. Oh, they walking around. No sweat. It's the people next door. Go ahead. Joel chapter 2, verse 16. So once the elders have gathered together, you understand, and they have fasted, right? What's the next part? You got it, brother? Joel chapter 2, verse 16.
Joel chapter 2, verse 16. Gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders.
It said, read that part slowly, brother. Say it one more time.
Gather the people, sanctify the congregation.
So now you got to gather the rest of the people and you got to sanctify the congregation. Let's find out who that congregation is. Keep reading.
Gather the children and those that suck the breast.
So gather the children and those that suck the breast. Now, most of y'all probably won't feel this way, but you know the human brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25. So if you're under 25, you're a child. You understand? So it says, gather the children and those that are still suckling at the breast. So from 25 on down, y'all got to get sanctified. You understand? So y'all have to get brainwashed. Y'all have to remove what you've been classically conditioned to. You understand? When you go to the mall, like the first thing you're going to think of, instead of going to a fabric shop and producing your own clothes, you want to go buy someone else's clothes. You understand? Instead of supporting the infrastructure or a designer within your own community, you want to support a designer within someone else's community. The only reason why these fashion houses are popular is because we have bought into them. You understand? We make their culture popular. Not anybody else. Didn't nobody care about no Balenciagas? I when I was younger, I ain't never heard of Balenciaga. Wasn't nobody rocking Balenciaga? You know what I'm saying? But now everybody rocks Balenciaga. Because who? Because we have made it popular. This is why you have to be sanctified. You have to be hollowed out. You have to be separated from all of this. You understand? Keep reading.
And note, let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber, and the bride out of her closet.
All right, no sweat. All right, let's get back to where you were in Ezra's part. Are you at Ezra chapter 3 verse 10?
Come is the book of Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And when the builders laid the foundation of the temple of the Lord, they set the priests in their apparel with trumpets.
Hold on, in another nation's apparel?
And they set the priests in their apparel.
In the top apparel of the Persian world.
In their apparel.
You understand? They set them in their own apparel. Read.
Come with trumpets, and the Levites and the sons of
Asaph.
Isupk and cymbal to praise the Lord after the ordinances of David, king of Israel. Verse 11. And they sang together by course in praising and giving thanks unto the Lord, because he is good, for his mercy endureth forever towards Israel. And all the people shouted a great shout.
All right. Now go to Ezra chapter 4, verse 1. All right. So we've come out of captivity. I'm talking about serious captivity. And instead of you going to go do your thing, we decided we're going to all come together and we're going to follow the Lord. Now, let me tell you what happens every time you decide to do the right thing and follow the Lord. Go to Ezra chapter 4, verse 1. What does it say?
Come. It's the book of Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 1. Now, when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord, the God of Israel.
You understand? So whenever you start separating from everybody, think of it like this. Man, what happened to Jerome? He ain't came to work. Y'all, Jerome used to work the cash register at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Where Ashley at? Ashley, she used to do the receiving. Where Brandon at? Where Braden at? You know what I'm saying? Where Tyrone at? We don't got nobody back here in the shipping and receiving to unload the trucks. You know what I'm saying? Where Tavion at? You know what I'm saying? We don't got nobody to drive the UPS truck. Like, where all the people at? Man, I heard the word on the street is, you know, they did all the brothers and sisters in Houston, they didn't move to North Houston and they did corralling together. What they doing up there? Shoot, I mean, I heard it's a sight to see. You know what I'm saying? They roll up on you. They see it look like a big old party. But everybody's gathering themselves together, coming out of their carnal attire, draping themselves in the clothing of their people, and they're moving and serving the Lord. Imagine your enemies, your ops roll up on you. You know what I'm saying? Last time they saw you, you look like some trifling thing, but when they pull up on you, you in a glorious garment like you at Passover. What if the next time they saw you, they was like, why are all these black people dressed like this? Why are all these Hispanics dressed like this? Why are all of these Native Americans dressed like this? And why the hell are they all in the same room? What is going on in here? Every place that we have Passover, That is the mindset of the oppressors. Because they expect for there to be war, confrontation between one another. It's 5,000 to 10,000 niggas, spicks, and savages, and ain't nobody shooting or stabbing each other. What the hell is going on here? One thing that you have to always understand is your enemy is always watching your every move. He's watching you when he knows that you're not a threat. He watches you even more when you're a threat. So when you contend to gather yourself and to separate and stop laboring for the nation that you're oppressed by and labor for your nation, best believe them odds is going to be on you. You understand? Give me Lamentations 4:18. You got it? Give me Lamentations 4:18. You pulling it up, Sapar? Okay, go ahead. Never mind, go ahead.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 18. Mm-hmm. They hunt our steps.
They do what?
They hunt our steps.
Yes, that's what they do. They hunt your steps. Like, you can't just do your job. Like, it's bad enough they got you working 18 hours. You know what I'm saying? You got a caseload at your job that'll rifle the Eiffel Tower. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are literally downtrodden and depressed at your job. They got to go above that. You understand? They got to come by your job, poke and prod at you. You understand? They got to come by your desk, you know what I'm saying, and poke and prod at you. And then they afflict you so much to the point to where when you get home, you don't have no energy to do nothing else. You understand? Because they haunt your footsteps. The reason why they work you from 9 to 5 is so you don't have any time to do anything else. You don't have any energy to do anything else because it literally takes 4 to 8 hours to build another occupation. You don't have time to start your business. You understand? You don't have time to go braid hair. You don't have time to go sell wine. You don't have time to cut hair. You don't have time to press t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time to develop, your own accounting form. You don't have time to make your own law form. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time to make your own clinical practice because they make your caseload so vast that you don't have time because they are haunting your footsteps. They know if they give you any time allocated unto yourself, that you're going to build the kingdom overnight. Keep reading.
Son of a Khan, that we cannot go in our streets.
Mm-hmm. You understand? Like, what happens whenever blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when they gather themselves together? I mean, if it's just 4 brothers on the corner just standing outside talking, what happens? What happens? You know what I'm saying? The police come out of nowhere. You can't even chill in your own streets in your own neighborhood. You understand? If y'all outside playing highball, sideline kill at the curb in y'all street, and the cops see too many of y'all playing outside the street, and they drive by at the edge of the street, and they see too many of y'all outside, they gonna pull down. What's going on out here? Oh, we just playing football. Well, it's too many of y'all. Y'all causing a disturbance. Y'all disband. Because what happens when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans get together? Y'all can't have a good time. This goes all the way back to the overseers. You understand? It was illegal for more than 4 black, Hispanics, and Native Americans to loiter together because they think that you would be conspiring to either escape or overthrow your masters. You understand? And that is the same mindset that the police have today. They haunt your footsteps. Even if it's one brother sitting outside of the gas station, the cops is going to harass you. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
That's one of the reasons why they created the police force, to make sure slaves was always on a plantation. And the
Yeah,
one left,
and the word officer comes from the word overseer, right? So an overseer on a plantation were the first police officers. You understand? And then the United States marshals and sheriffs were the first police inside the United States government, and their job was to suppress slave insurrections. You understand? That was the purpose of the creation of the census. The people, the census numerators were U.S. Marshals. They would literally go into the homes of blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. They would notate your name, how many people were in your house, the age of the people in your house. So if they needed to come get somebody, they knew exactly who to come get. You understand? And they had the authority of the United States government to come in anybody's house without a warrant. Keep reading. You got the scripture?
limitation.
Yeah. What you stopped? You stopped at verse 18, or you went to 19, Sapar? At the bottom of 18? All right, go ahead.
Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
Our persecutors are what?
Are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
You understand? Like, just trade that word persecutor for prosecutor. You know what I'm saying? Our prosecutors are swifter than the eagles in heaven. You understand? Like, the process from you getting arrested, going to jail, and getting sentenced is swift, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's swift. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting no bond. And then they swift to get you in there because they know you don't got the money to get out. Like, once they put them handcuffs on you and you go on to jail, they swift to do that because they know that you can't bail yourself out, nor do you know your rights. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they throw you in jail before you see the judge.
Exactly. And if you know anything about the law, that's actually illegal. You understand? It's actually illegal. How can you arrest someone without a conviction? You can't arrest someone without a conviction. How do you know the law has actually been broken? There's been no judgment passed that, or a conviction passed that they actually broke the law. You know what I'm saying? That's why they operate off of the premise of presumption. You know, when they pull you, when they have a warrant for your arrest, they ask you, are you such and such? Because they presume that they have a picture of what such and such looks like. You understand? And you look like such and such, but it's not until you answer to such and such, they operate off of presumptions. When you go before the judge for a speeding ticket, it was presumed that you were going 15 miles over the speeding limit based off of the word of the officer. Do you have any evidence to support your case that you were not doing this? Everything is a presumption. It isn't until you are convicted and judged until you can be arrested. And then a fine has to be paid. If you can't pay the fine, then you go to jail. You know what I'm saying? And depending on how egregious the fine is, you'll go to prison. All right. Was that all on 19? Sapar, give me keep reading what you got. Sapar, I want you to give me Psalms 23 and 5. Keep reading what you got.
They pursue us upon the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
So that means no matter where you go, they haunting your steps. I mean, hell, you can have your own land in the middle of the country with no roads, nowhere near the nearest crossroad to your property is 4 miles over. They will find you in the woods. The signs I saw a video of a dude that had a sign on his property. It said private property. The entire property was fenced off. The video was of the cop pulling up to the gate of the private property, he hopped over the fence. You know what I'm saying? After he hopped over the fence, the owner of the property pulled up. You understand? He flattened the tires of the cop. You know what I'm saying? Opened up the gate, drove into the property, closed the gate behind him, and then he went to go find the police officer that was on his property that trespassed because he broke the law. It says, this is private property. This is not a public domain. He owned the land grant to that property. So this is private property. This is not owned by the public. When you own the land grant, you don't pay taxes. It's private property. That means you own the land outright. And when he closed that gate, he got out that truck and he walked off into the land. All you heard was pa 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 pa. And the cop came running out. You don't never see that. The cop came running out of there. He hopped back over the fence, and the dude slowly walking up, firing on him because you're trespassing on private property. You understand? But they will hunt your steps. You think you living in a bunker in the woods gonna save you? No, they will find that bunker. Go ahead.
They just waiting and watching to see when you gonna stumble.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Give me what you got, Sapar. Hey, what you said, brother, is 100%. He said, officer, overseer sounds the same. I learned something new. Never knew that. That's where it comes from, brother. You know what I'm saying? Officer literally comes from overseer, brother. You know, and just to tell you, like everything is done off of legalese, right? Legalese is a completely different language. It is English, but the word that you pertain to think means something. They mean something completely different. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a reason they got to meet a certain quota in order to keep their job.
Right. You understand? So in law, like you think color means one thing, it means something else completely in law. Right? Color or colored means something pertaining to, but that is not real. Right? So if you call yourself black, if you call yourself white, you understand, you are something pertaining to something that is lifelike, but is not the real thing. You are a construct. You understand? So so the reason why black people are able to be treated the way that they are treated is because they're not real. Anything that is real is under God. If you are a living man with a living soul, right? You're a living being, they can't handle you any type of way. But if you operate under a construct that they created, it's fictitious because the United States of America, it's fictitious. If you are a citizen of the United States, you live in Washington, D.C. You understand? And on your driver's license, on your passport, what do you check? Black, white, Latino, Native American. Go ahead.
No.
All right, no sweat. Read what you got, Sapar.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 23 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies.
So that's what's taking place right here. So in Ezra chapter 4, verse 1, it says, in the adversaries of Judah, Benjamin heard the children of captivity building a temple unto the Lord thy God. The Lord is literally allowing them to build a table in front of their enemies. It's just like on Baby Boys, like, I don't like that. I'm gonna have to drop a dime on that. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading, verse 2 in Ezra. Ezra chapter 4, verse 2.
The book of Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And to the chief of the fathers, and said unto them, let us build with you.
Let us do what?
Let us build with you.
Man, brother, I really like what you're going on right here.
Let us build with you.
Like, brother, this is amazing. How can we be a part? How can we help your cause? Read it again.
Let us build with you.
Brother, are y'all accepting any donations?
Let us build with you.
You understand? This is the tactic that has been used since antiquity. You understand? They come under the guise of helping you with a helping hand, with a donation. You know, go ahead. What you got, Sapar?
Salaka, so I just want to say from this verse, too, that sound like the liberals of today.
That's exactly what they are, brother. You understand? Like, or if you go public with your business, I don't know why you would go public with your business. You understand? Like, if you go public with your business, that means that's you telling me you don't want to own your business anymore, right? Because anybody can very craftily buy up the majority of the stock in your company and push you out of your company. Well, how is that possible if I own 51%? Well, they can own a minor stake of the other 49, get on the board of your company, sway the others that are on the board of your company, push you out, and then your stock is divided up, and then they buy the majority of your percentage. It happens every day in business. You understand? It's a wicked game. You understand? But that's how they come. How can I help you, brother? How can I donate towards your cause? Because if they put money in your pocket to build your infrastructure, that means that they got rights to your infrastructure. You understand? You think all these people donate to presidential campaigns just like I think that you should be president? No, they do it because they want something from you. Right? They're not coming to tell them, let us build with you. Well, watch what they say. Go ahead. Watch what they say.
Come. Let us build with you. For we seek your God. As ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him. Since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Ashur.
You understand? Your enemies will come under a fake banner of peace. Like, brother, tell me about this Yahweh. Yahweh sounds amazing. How can I serve him? I want to serve him just like you serve him. I mean, shoot, Christ came to save everybody. Remember, for God so loved the world, brother. So let's build this world together. But if you don't know no better, you're like, yeah, you're right. He did come to save the whole world. But when you're in truth, you know that world is Isaiah 45:17, the world of Israel that has an everlasting salvation, a world without end. You understand? But they will come under the guise with smooth words. Like, brother, let's build together. I think this is an amazing cause that you're doing. How can I support you? It's not how can I support the cause, it's how can I support you? Because they're trying to buy you. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Why he doing that, Sapar? Give me Psalms 55 and 21. Go ahead.
I was gonna say exactly what they did with the Black Lives Matter protest.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter is funded by George Soros. If you don't know who George Soros is, I advise you to Google his name and to learn how evil this man is. Right. You understand? Like, what most people don't understand is during World War I and World War II, these banks, these private banks, they funded both sides of the war. You understand? During the War of 1812, these private banks, they funded both sides of the war. George Soros, he'll be funding the political infrastructure and also fuel the antagonists for the infrastructure to pass legislation for what he has an agenda to push. That's what Antifa does. Like during the all of the marches for George Floyd and stuff like that, where do you think the bricks came from? There were literally pallets of bricks dropped in the middle of downtown Dallas, downtown Atlanta. You understand? In the city where George Floyd was killed, where these riots were going down, they had plants there because they're working both sides of the fence. They pretend to be for you, but they're trying to infiltrate you to destroy you. And Black Lives Matter is not for black people. It is for the LGBTQ, because when you go to the website, it has nothing on there about the black family. Even the illustrations that they have, it'll have two mommies and a child or two daddies and a child. It is not for the infrastructure of the black family, a black man, a black woman, and a black child. Read what you got, Sapar.
Kanabakan is the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
But it was thou, a man, my equal, my guide, and my acquaintance.
That was 55 and 21?
Oh, 21, Salakia.
Yeah.
So 55 and...
Psalms chapter 55, verse 21.
Salakia, 55.
What you got?
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of his mouth were what?
Were smoother than butter.
You know what I'm saying? Brother, look, what you got going on right here is a good thing, brother. How can I be down with you? How can I donate to your cause? You understand? And all of these charitable donations that people have, they don't have charitable donations for charity. They have charitable donations for tax write-off. It's not about doing a good thing. It's so that they can steal money. It's non-taxable money that they can steal. You understand? Because their words are smooth as butter. But what, Sapar? Keep reading.
But war was in his heart.
You understand? But war is in their heart. They don't care about you building a temple to the Lord. They don't care about you praising the Lord. The reason why they're coming to you is because they know if you start serving God, you understand that you're going to destroy them. Because you know what happens when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans start focusing on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Ain't no more Arabs at the corner store. Blacks don't own that corner store. Ain't no more Asians owning the liquor store in your community. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they gonna own the liquor store in the community. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be after I went to this doggone farmers market I went today. I don't know why the hell I'm going to Whole Foods. You know what I'm saying? Or why I'm going to HEB. Here everything better is a lie. It's better at the Aztec food market in Houston, Texas. I'm here to tell you, brother. I mean, I ain't never seen mangoes and cantaloupes and that big. Boy, I saw a mango that was this big, brother. You know what I'm saying? I saw a cantaloupe the size of your head, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, brother, I mean, a cantaloupe that big can feed about two and a half people. You understand what I'm saying? But they come under the guise with smooth words. I mean, hell, everybody, they teach you that organic this, organic that. You know what I'm saying? What they call the meatless stuff? What they call it? No. The beyond meat this, beyond meat that. You know what I'm saying? It's great for you. It's a great option for vegans and vegetarians. But in actuality, that's the stuff that's gonna kill you because their words are smoother than butter. They put it in a shiny package with vibrant labeling. You know what I'm saying? And then on the ingredients in white and very thin writing, it's poison, it's arsenic. It's been shined with roach wax. You ain't know that, did you? That's your fruit. The reason why it shines the way it shines in the grocery store is because what's that stuff y'all get on y'all nails? What's acrylic, right? If you look up where acrylic comes from, it comes from roaches. They grind up dead roaches into a powder. You understand? And they turn it into a resin, and that's yeah. You got roaches on your fingertips, sis. If you getting acrylic on your nails, you walking around with roaches on your fingertips. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. If they told you that we're gonna put this finish on your nails that comes from roaches, would you put that on your nails?
Yeah.
Hell no. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have this fruit and we got it shined up so beautiful for you, but we have to let you know we made the outside coat of your fruit last and made it sit longer because we coated it with roaches. Would you eat that? No, you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But if you think I'm BSing, look it up. In the grocery store, all of your apples, your oranges, your plums. Give me some your pears. Give me something else that got a shiny coat. Your cherries, your grapes. You know what I'm saying? All of them are treated with acrylic. Roaches. I know, it just blows your mind, doesn't it? You know, you mean to tell me, yeah, that's why you should watch your produce when you get it. Because it's been dunked in a sack of roaches. All right, give me somebody give me what I had you. Somebody give me Matthew 15:8. Y'all could not put the shock face on. She put the shock face in the chat. Yes, sis. If you're getting acrylic on your nails, you're getting them dipped in roaches. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, knowing is half the battle. I bet you're going to get your nails buffed from now on. Clear coat. Now, that clear coat is acrylic. Yeah, that clear coat is acrylic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would look into it. Now, anything shiny, I'll be looking into it nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Yeah, that's right, sis. You got roaches on your fingertips. All right. Somebody read what I need. Matthew 15:8.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8. This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
You know what I'm saying? That's what these oppositions did. You understand? The adversaries of Israel, they drew near unto them with their lips. He's like, man, we want to serve your God. We want to help you build a temple unto your God. We want to sacrifice with you unto your God. But their heart is far from your God. Go ahead. Read what you about to say, Paul.
So, like, sir, from what these scriptures saying, it seems like could this be the foundation of the Christian church? Because it sounds like, you know, Christianity, like how they, you know, we want to come serve with you, serve a God, right, and build the temple to your God.
That's definitely what it is. All right? So, like, anybody that really reads the Bible, like if you really read the Bible, you would know that this book is only talking about one people. That this book is for one people. It is for the labor and the affliction and the oppression of one people. Hell, the kingdom of heaven has 12 gates with 12 names for the 12 tribes of one people. Like, I always ask Christians, I was like, so what tribe are you from? Oh, you know, that's the Old Testament. You know, we know the Israelites are God's favorite people, brother. But, you know, they fell short. And because of that, it was opened up into the entire world. I was like, well, that's interesting. If that's the case, why does the kingdom of heaven only have 12 gates with 12 names for the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel? What gate are you going to walk through? Well, brother, we're all going to be grafted in. Well, that's not what the scripture says. In Psalms 9 and it was in Psalms 9 and 5, it said, whom concerning the flesh that Christ came are Israelites. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Christ came in the flesh and died for Israelites. I mean, hell, the angel told Mary that he will save his people, not the world, his people. You can't misconstrue that. So this is why it's important for you to know the word, because people are going to come to you with flattering lips. You know what I'm saying? That's why in the scripture, they even going to come to Christ when Christ come back. Lord, I served you. Lord, I worshiped you. Lord, I praised you. You know what he's going to say? Get away from me, you wicked servant. I never knew you. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to the scripture. Let's get back to Ezra chapter 4, verse 3.
So second Ezra?
No, Ezra. In the Old Testament. Yes, Paul did the same thing when I said it the first time. He went to Ezra. Yeah, go to Ezra chapter 4 and verse 3. And let's find out what Zerubbabel's response was.
This is the book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 3. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us.
They said what?
Ye have nothing to do with us.
You understand? That's what y'all need to tell these other nations. Y'all need to tell these Karens to mind your own damn business. You know what I'm saying? Well, brother, we just want to build with you. Go build your own and get on. You understand? He said, y'all have nothing to do with what's going on over here. You understand? Y'all had us in y'all helped put us in captivity. But now y'all want to build with us? You lost your damn mind. That's like the nigga calling the cops on you, telling you he want to help you, and because you got arrested, you lost your job and got evicted, and when you get out, he tell you he want to help you get an apartment. Nigga, if you don't get the hell away from me, why I beat you up? You the reason why I lost everything. What you had something you want to say?
I was just gonna say it's crazy how they tell me, like, black people tell other black people to mind your business, but won't say that to the oppressor.
Exactly. Like you would tell your own brother and sister to mind their damn business, but won't tell your oppressor to do that. You understand? Like your boss. So what were you guys talking about? None of your business. It was a private conversation. That's not professional. You want a professional way? It was not pertaining to you. It was a personal matter. Well, I mean, I need to know what's going on with my employees. Well, if she cares to tell you what's going on in her life, she can do that. But I respect the privacy. I respect the privacy policies of such and such incorporated. That's a polite way of telling a white person to mind their damn business. Go ahead.
Then the moment you do something like that, they try to find some cunning way to fire you.
We're about to find that out right now. We're about to find that out right now. Keep reading.
Ye have nothing to do with us to build in the house unto our God, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, have commanded us.
You understand? So he basically told him, was like, no, we got this. We've built enough with you. When will blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans say that we've built enough with you? We would like the opportunity to build our own. You know, we built your CVS's, we built your Walmarts, we built your Walgreens, we built your HEBs. You know what I'm saying? We built your Joe V's. You know what I'm saying? Now we want to build Tyrone's. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make Tyrone's the greatest grocery store in America. Can you imagine a grocery store to rob a Walmart and the name of the grocery store was called Tyrone's? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then when you call into the pharmacy, you got Erica Badu song better call Tyrone. What you got, brother?
I was gonna say these same places that we built up, it's to the point where brothers got to sleep by them now for shelter.
Yeah. Imagine that. A black and for sure a Hispanic, you know what I'm saying, was on a construction site building these spots, and they got the same blacks and Hispanics sleeping out in front of them because they don't got no housing. You understand? Because we're destroyed building their kingdom. Matter of fact, somebody give me Amos 3:1. Tabar, you can give me that one. That's one of your favorite ones. Yeah, somebody give me Amos 3:1. And since you give me that one, you Nike, you give me Deuteronomy 7:6. Go ahead, brother. I know you damn near got it memorized. You might have it by memory.
Kind of a cousin. The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
The whole world?
O children of Israel.
France.
O children of Israel.
Italy.
O children of Israel.
Russia.
O children of Israel.
Istanbul.
O children of Israel.
Japan.
O children of Israel.
China.
O children of Israel.
India.
O children of Israel.
The Sudan.
O children of Israel.
Iran.
O children of Israel.
Iraq.
O children of Israel.
I just wanted to verify it was what?
O children of Israel.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
So the Lord only knows niggas, spics, and savages.
Right.
You understand? And because that, he said what?
You only have I known out of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you.
You understand? The reason why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the reason why we in the condition that we in, and everybody else in their own land is good, is because he has only known us. That's the reason why we're at the bottom of the totem pole and we're destroyed, because the Lord said that he will use the other nations as a whooping stick. You understand? We've been on punishment. We've been getting our butt whooped. You understand? Because the Lord only knows us. But guess what? If the Lord only knows us, that means that ain't nobody else been serving God. Ain't nobody else been sacrificing unto God. Ain't nobody been building no temples unto God. So when it comes time to serve God, when it comes time to sacrifice unto God, you know what I'm saying? When you fast, you know what I'm saying? When it comes time to build a temple unto God, it's for you, yourself, and you. It's for Israel. It ain't for nobody else. You know, when it comes down to the Day of Atonement, that day is not for nobody else. It is for the nation of Israel to atone for our sins. Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say not only that, but the time that nobody's serving God, that's gonna be the time when he get like the angriest. So when somebody do start serving him,
that time is now. That time is now. You understand? The Lord is angry, and he's been delaying his anger for a very long time. And as you can see, it's starting to release out onto the earth. You understand? Like, brother, it was a Category 4 hurricane in California. When have you ever heard of a hurricane hitting California? Never. And whole island in Hawaii was incinerated. I mean, incinerated. I mean, like the aluminum was melted off the car, and it streams of coagulated aluminum on the ground like dried paint that then dripped. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people were incinerated inside of their cars. You got tsunamis in China, wiping out whole cities. I mean, hell, they intentionally wiped out a city to save Tokyo. You understand? They wiped out the smaller cities. They opened up the floodgates and flooded out smaller towns so Tokyo could survive. I'll tell you, I'm sorry, Japan. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they not talking about it no more, but just somebody, you know, in your spare time, just Google current sinkholes in 2023. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. I mean, like, the earth is literally opening up and swallowing communities. Literally. You understand? All right. Give me what you got in Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord has separated you unto himself. This is why you should say you have nothing to do with us. We will build and honor and serve our God. So go on, bump it down the road and kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? Go back to where you were in Ezra. Who's reading?
Ezra chapter. You want me to go to verse 4?
Yeah, verse 4.
Ezra chapter 4, verse 4. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah.
See, look at that. Look, ain't that what you just said? Like, bro, like the moment they come to try and buy you off and you don't accept the money, what you say? What you say they're gonna try and get you fired? You know what I'm saying? The moment you come and your boss try and come and butt they nose in y'all business, and you don't allow them to butt they nose in y'all business, and then you cite they rules, laws, and policies to them or why they cannot butt into y'all business. Oh, you think you a smart nigga? I'm gonna get you fired. You know what I'm saying? They're going to determine right then and there to set you up and get you fired. You understand? So when we decided to build with ourselves, it said they immediately went to try and weaken their hands. Keep reading.
Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building.
And did what?
And troubled them in building.
Keep reading.
And hired counselors against them. And to frustrate their purpose.
What it said, and they hired counselors. What that sound like they did?
Taskmasters?
No. It said they hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose. What that sound like? Huh? Nope.
Salakia, is it they put forth different individuals to cause confusion?
How did they do it? What does it sound like?
By sellouts that's selling the nation out for their own gains.
What you was about to say?
I forgot what it's called when they send somebody within your community.
No, they had an election. They put a new mayor in office. They put some new judges in office. You know what I'm saying? They put a new alderman in community. They elected a new chief of police in your county and in your district. Somebody that isn't for the people and that's for their agenda. So every time, y'all have a block party to raise money for the back to school fund, they shut it down so y'all can't raise no money for no back to school fund. Y'all can't give out backpacks. You know what I'm saying? Everything that y'all do to try and support the community, y'all try and do a food drive to feed the homeless. You know what I'm saying? They come and shut down the food drive. You understand? Everything that you do to try and help the community, they shut it down. They frustrate your purpose. They trouble your hands. They try and stop you from helping the people. In other words, they call the police on them. You know what I'm saying? Anytime that we try and do something to build for ourselves and don't include anyone else, don't nobody say nothing when the Chinese build the Chinatown by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody say when the Italians build up Little Italy by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Or the Arabs or the East Indians, because best believe it, even though it's not popularized because I've done a lot of residential installs. I know that they all have their own communities and sections of Houston. Houston is like a checkerboard. It's pockets of communities of cultures. You understand? And the businesses around them. If you ever want to know what type of community that you're in, look at the businesses that are around. When you look in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, you know you in the hood because all the businesses are owned by everybody else. You understand? You go to an Arab community, all them stores. You don't believe me? Look on Harwin. Harwin, that's an Arab community. Majority of those stores that are owned over there are owned by Arabs and East Indians. East Indians got everything from West Park and Hillcroft up. The Arabs got everything from Hillcroft and West Park back to 59. Think I'm joking? Look up who owned the deeds. I promise you that. Look at the names of the business. When you go, every cell phone fixed spot, it's Arabs. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason for this. It's a racket set up for this because they know how to put their people on. If you want to be successful, you need to do this. First thing they do when they bring them over here, they have them working a gas station. You know what I'm saying? Or they have them working at a liquor store. They have them working at a nail salon. Or they have them working at a beauty supply. And what's crazy is your entire life for as long as I can remember, it's always been Asians in beauty supplies. It wasn't until recently that I started seeing Black people working inside of beauty supplies, but it's still owned by Asians though. It's because if they put their entire family on now. Now they great-great-grandson, he's your boss. And you trying to feed just your kids. They got 4 or 5 generations up on you before they even allowed you to step foot to be an employee in a business. And best believe, if a cousin come from overseas and they need a job, guess who's getting fired? You. Believe that. But you want to go along to get along with everybody. Go ahead, Sapar.
So and that's why the I.S.U.P.K under Commander YAHANNA, that's why this the greatest organization for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because this school here don't have no compromise like how all the other groups in the past. Like this school is going to stand firm against the other nations that's in Psalms the 83rd chapter.
No sweat. So we gonna jump around because I only got like 20 minutes. I got some other stuff that I want to bring out so you can understand what the labor of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is what it gets for you. It gets you trouble. All Zerubbabel and the elders of Israel wanted to do, the elders of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native, they just wanted to build their temple unto the Lord themselves. Right. They didn't want to hire any white contractors. They didn't want to hire any East Indian contractors. They didn't want to hire any Chinese contractors. They wanted to build their temple themselves with their infrastructure. And everybody else had a problem with that. But everybody else built their own infrastructure. It's because they know the moment that you build your own, you're going to take over. Because you want to know who their children watch on television? You. They make it illegal in China. China got their own TikTok. They TikTok not like the TikTok in America. They kids not allowed to watch the stuff that our kids do here and the stuff that our kids watch here. Because they know the moment that they kids start watching what our kids doing, our kids are cooler. So guess what's going to happen? Their kids are going to want to do what our kids do. So they have to cut off access to our world because they know the moment that our world is open up to them, our culture is going to swallow theirs whole. That's why hip hop is all over the world now. Hip hop started in one neighborhood in New York. It is they got Russian gangster rap now. Russian drill music. You understand what I'm saying? Like, drill music comes from Chicago. What the hell it got to do with Russia? You understand what I'm saying? Like, they dress like you. Even, I don't understand the word they saying, but how they set up their bars and all of that stuff, it sounds like a nigga rapping. Or Hispanic, or a spick rapping, or a savage rapping. You know what I'm saying? Even they hip hop names be Savage this, 21 this. You know what I'm saying? That's our culture. Little this, little that. You know what I'm saying? Big this, big that. Fat this, fat that. Those are our nicknames. But that's what they call themselves. That's what they call their rappers. Even some of them get caught saying the N-word in their language, in their music. All right. So let's run through this. So drop down. We gonna skip around, right? Then they wrote to YAHANNA, the Chancellor. Let's see where I want you to drop down to. Drop down to, drop down to verse 9. Drop down to verse 9.
This is the book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Then wrote Rehum, the Chancellor, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their companions. The Donaites, the Saphrates.
All right, so basically, the counselors that they hired, they had them write a letter to King Artaxerxes. Basically said, just like in life, he ain't working, boss. You know what I'm saying? They wrote a letter. Well, he about to break it. Go to verse 10.
Verse 10. And the rest of the nations whom the great and noble Asnapper brought over and set in the cities of Samaria, and the rest that are on the side of the river, and at such a time. This is the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even unto Artaxerxes the king, thy servants, the men of this side the river, and at such a time. Be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building a rebellious and bad city. They
building a what?
Building a rebellious and a bad city.
But I thought they was just trying to build a temple to serve the Lord. They called it a what?
Rebellious and a bad city.
That's crazy, You understand? Go ahead, Sapar.
So like even way back in the day, us doing ourselves is a rebellion against the whole world.
Hey, it is rebellious and bad, brother.
Wow.
For you to build a church, your own church. Let's put it in today's standpoint, right? A temple would be considered a church. It was rebellious and bad for you to build your own place of worship. Don't that sound like slavery to you? You can't have church unless white people there. Keep reading.
And have set up the walls thereof, and joined the foundations. Verse 13. Be it known now unto the king that if this city be builded and the walls set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and custom, and so thou shalt endamage the revenue of the kings.
He said they saying if they build these churches, these niggas ain't gonna pay taxes to you no more. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna send you no tribute. You understand? They evil, they bad, and what they building is evil and bad. Because they're not gonna send it unto you. All of this comes from them saying, we don't want you to be a part of building what we about to build. Imagine we building a school, right? Greg Abbott come and say, man, we want to help you build your school. And we tell Greg Abbott, nah, we straight. you know, we want to build this school for our people ourselves. So you don't want to be a part of the Texas school board? Nah, we good. We're going to do it on the outside of it. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to teach our own kids. And Greg Abbott writing a letter to Joe Biden and said, these niggas, Spicks and Savages down here are building a bad and rebellious school that's going against everything that stands for the fabric of the United States of America. You understand? And if they build this school, they will never pay taxes to the federal government ever again. You know what that's going to incite? The police are going to be kicking down the job site the next day. This is just to put this ballpark. This is what your Labor Day gets you. If you do a hard day of labor for yourself, it's met with infrastructure and hostility towards you. Keep reading.
Now, because we have maintenance from the king's palace, and it was not meet for us to see the king's dishonor, therefore have we sent this and certified the king. Verse 15, that search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers, so shalt thou find in the book of the records and know that this city is a rebellious city.
Man, precept, Sapar, give me Psalms 83 and 3, and you're gonna read the 5. This is what is taking place right now.
Will come. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have done what?
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Mm-hmm.
And consulted against thy hidden one.
Mm-hmm.
They have said, come and let us cut them off.
Let us do what?
And let us cut them off.
So when Zerubbabel told them, y'all can't build with us, they said what?
And let us cut them off.
You understand? That's what happens whenever Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans gather together. When they have the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York, they say what?
And let us cut them off.
You know what I'm saying? When they try and have Trade Day down here, they do what?
And let us cut them off.
You understand? Like when they try and have the Caribbean Fest, the police say what?
And let us cut them off.
You understand? When we tried to march for George Floyd, they said what?
And let us cut them off.
You know what I'm saying? When you try and build your own communities in your neighborhoods, they say what?
And let us cut them off.
When you try and educate your own children, they say what?
And let us cut them off.
From what?
From being a nation.
From being a nation. All a nation wants to do is to feed their own people, teach their own children, build homes for their own people. What you got?
I was gonna say you don't hear too many white people trying to become Muslims.
No, you don't. I mean, unless they trying to go against the status quo. But go ahead, keep reading, brother.
God will come. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
You know what I'm saying? And that is what's happened. Because black people don't know where they come from. Your nation is no more in remembrance. Hispanics and Latinos, they don't know where they come from because their nation is no more in remembrance. They don't know what their nation was before the conquistadors, before the Spaniards and the Portuguese. They don't know what their nation was. They don't know their language. They are cut off just like we are. You know what I'm saying? The Native Americans, they don't have their culture. They're cut off just like we are. Because everything that we did, it's no more in remembrance. You didn't even know the name of your God. You don't know your language because there is no more remembrance because we have been cut off from being a nation.
Right.
At any time, 2 or more Negroes, niggas, Spicks, and Savages is gathered on the corner, they're going to do what? They're going to cut you off. Because just like the overseer did what he did when doing Jim Crow and slavery, the same thing these officers are doing.
Right.
Because it's the same infrastructure. You got the verse 5 already?
Keep reading.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
They are what?
They are confederate against thee. Verse 6.
That's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I already know. You know what I mean? Shoot. I mean, that's what every Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Every Sabbath. They are confederate against you. Like these people, you know, you walk in the, what's going on, brother? Buddy. You know what I'm saying? They not your buddy, and we are not brothers. You know what I'm saying? They do that because they're confederate against thee. They want you to be docile. They want you to come and get all the cigarillos so you can be high all day. They know if you're high, you're not worried about robbing them or taking your community back. You understand? They know that you're going to kill each other for weed. You understand? They know that you're going to kill each other for crack cocaine. They know that you're going to kill each other for methamphetamines. They know that you're going to kill each other for opioids. That's why there's a smoke shop in every hood in America, just like it's a liquor store, to make you docile. Because Lord forbid if you fast for 24 hours and you don't put any poison in your system, what could happen? You might think clearly. That's why when they gathered themselves together, before they even came to even discuss building and serving the Lord, they fasted. They sacrificed themselves to put their flesh away. Because it's not about what you feel. It's not about what you think. It's about serving the Lord and building our nation. But whenever you try that, you need to know what your labor gets you. All right. Drop down in Ezra 4. Drop down to verse 18.
Ezra chapter 4, verse 18. The letter which ye sent unto us have been plainly read before me.
All right. So this is the response from the king. This is the response from Artaxerxes. Right. So basically, they sent the king a letter to say, they over here building a bad rebellious city against you, and these niggas not gonna pay taxes, and they trying to go against everything that you built. This is the king's response. Go ahead, read.
The letter which ye sent unto us have been plainly read before me, and I commanded, and search have been made, and it is found that this city of old time have made insurrection against kings.
You know what I'm saying? So, mind you, so just like the United States, like in the Library of Congress, the Library of Congress is the biggest library in the United States. All right. And it has chronicles and records of every law that's been passed, every insurrection, every civil uprising, every rebellion, you know what I'm saying? Every massacre, you know what I'm saying? It has the history of the United States at the Library of Congress. So imagine somebody telling you about now what he said to him wasn't necessarily not true. You know what I'm saying? Now, there were times where when we did build our kingdom to go back to serve our God gave us the power to overthrow our oppressors. You understand? But it doesn't show what happened leading up to that. It's like watching, like somebody watching a movie and you come in midway at the movie and you see a war. Like, man, bro, that boy a hoe right there. What he did out some hoe stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know what happened to him at the beginning of the movie, why he's doing this to this person. You could come in and see the movie where this person is torturing someone, and you want the person that's torturing this person to get justice done against him, but you don't know that the justice that's being, that the thing that's happening to that person is justice being served. So that's what's happening. When they sent that letter, the king had them go pull records strictly about this nation and doing this. So he pulled all the crimes. He's like, yeah, you're right. They have had rebellions. You know what I'm saying? They have not paid tolls and tributes. but they're coming in midway of the story. They don't know what led up to reason why they stopped. Keep reading.
And I commanded, and search have been made, and it is found that this city of old time have made insurrection against kings, and that rebellion and sedition have been made therein.
Mm-hmm.
There have been mighty kings also over Jerusalem, which have ruled over all countries beyond the river,
Mm-hmm.
and toll, tribute, and custom was paid unto them.
You know what I'm saying? So he hearing about Saul. He hearing about David. He hearing about Solomon. You know what I'm saying? Where Israel was the jewel of the world. You know what I'm saying? And everybody came far and wide to pay tribute unto Israel. You understand? But he not hearing about what happened. You know what I'm saying? What led up to them not doing that? You know what I'm saying? They ain't hear about what happened in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? What happened in Babylon? You understand? They not reading about that. They coming dead in the middle of the story. Keep reading.
Give ye now commandment to cause these men to cease, and that this city be not builded, until another commandment shall be given from me.
You understand? So now he's telling them to tell them to cease and desist and do not allow them to build. Now, how you gonna stop somebody from building? If somebody say they're gonna build them a house and they done bought all these supplies and every day they going out there and they working and building a house, how do you think you gonna stop them? What way do you think that they gonna stop them?
What they said before?
No. If somebody is going to, I'm gonna give it away. If somebody said, we gonna build this temple, whether you like it or not, and you just got an order to tell them to make them cease and not allow them, and they just told you whether you like it or not, we're going to build, and now you have authority to make them stop. How are you going to stop someone that says that we're going to do it whether you like them or not, whether you like it or not? How do you stop them?
By force.
By what?
Force.
By what?
Force.
Man, drop down to verse 23.
Verse 23. Now when the copy of King Artaxerxes' letter was read before Rehum and Shimshai, the scribe, and their companions, they went up in haste to Jerusalem unto the Jews and made them to cease by force and power.
Hey, what?
To make them and made them cease by force and power.
They made them cease by force and by power. You know what I'm saying? For those that's online, let me show you how they seize by force and power. You understand? I'm gonna read off all the seizures by force and power. We got the race riots of 1863 in New York. That was before Labor Day, right? Because Labor Day was started in what, 1885? Okay, I'm gonna read off the ones all that happened before Labor Day. Every time that black people tried to rise up and build something they own, I'm gonna read off the dates before Labor Day. So let's see. That was a Labor Day on 1863. There was a black massacre. All right. In 1868 in Selma, there was a black massacre. In 1874 in Ueda, there was a black massacre. In 1875 in Clinton, in Georgia, there was a black massacre. In 1868, in St. Bernard Parish in Louisiana, there was a massacre. In 1866, in New Orleans, there was a massacre. In 1887, dang, that was the year that it was passed for Labor Day. In Thibodaux, Louisiana, there was a massacre. You understand? In let's see, in 1868 in Opelousas, there was a massacre. Okay, so every time blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have tried to build by way of labor, there was a massacre. You understand? That is what your Labor Days get you. A massacre. You understand? Matter of fact, read this before we get up out of here, Sapar. Let me send this to you. It's gonna blow your mind. Let me send this to you. Where is that? Sapar. Copy. Boom. I just sent it to you. All right, I want you to click on that, and I want you to drop down to where it says massacres are violence inherent to white supremacy.
Khan. Black massacres in the U.S. Massacres are the violence inherent to white supremacy, unleashed in full force, taking untold scores of black lives.
Taking what?
Untold scores of black lives.
That for those that don't know what untold scores means, that means there's an assumption of number of black lives that were taken, but they took so many they don't want to mention it because it would be considered genocide. Keep reading.
These massacres have largely been erased from the public consciousness.
It's been what?
Largely been erased from the public consciousness.
You want to know why it's been erased? You want to know why they don't teach it in schools? It's because if they really told the story of how they got America, it wouldn't be that they would lose it. You understand? It would be the fact that if there was an insurrection, they would have no claim to why they should not be overthrown. You understand? That's why all white people play victim. That's the reason why all Arabs, they play victim. That's why the Chinese, they play victim. You understand? Because let it happen that because you didn't kill a brother in a liquor store because he rose his voice at you, and his brothers, his sisters, and his mothers, and the entire community come and burn your shop down for you killing they brother, they sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else can play victim, but when we stand up and play victim, it's a problem because they're evil and they don't want to be held accountable for the evil and the wickedness that they did. Bro, the number of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that have been murdered, it's staggering. Like, it's inconceivable the amount of our people that have been murdered because someone lied. Matter of fact, read off one of the stats, Sapar.
That in 1868, around 200 recently
emancipated. Does anybody know what emancipation means? I mean, yeah, you should. I mean, we got a whole road named called Emancipation Proclamation.
Salaki, that was the bill that Lincoln passed to free the.
Get that brother a hand, right? Okay, so it says about around because remember we was freed from slavery in 1865. So this happened in 1868. The Labor Day was passed in 1885. Okay, so this is before Labor Day. Now, mind you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been laboring for free for a real long time. And we done recently got emancipated. And it said around 200 recently emancipated African Americans continue.
Were killed by white mobs in Opelousas, Louisiana, for registering voters.
For registering to vote. They killed 200 black people for signing a paper to register to vote. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. And for those that are online, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the picture back up so you can see it. That's that one at the bottom. That's Opelousas 1868. You know what I'm saying? I got a little map for y'all. You understand? In 1868, 200 black people were murdered for signing their name on a piece of paper so that they can vote. Read the next one, Sapar.
Kanawakan. In 1919, as many as 237 black farmers in Elaine, Arkansas were lynched for organizing their labor to negotiate better conditions.
You understand? Like, Lord forbid that we should get the same cost seed as our white counterparts and the same trade value on the market of our white counterparts when we do twice the work of our white counterparts. But because we decided to open up our mouths, they killed 237 farmers and took their land. So on a minute scale of a real farmer, on a minute scale, is a minimum of 40 to 80 acres. So matter of fact, YAHANNA, multiply, we'll do a median. We'll say multiply 50 by 237. What you get? They stole 11,000. How much? They stole a minimum of 11,850 acres of land because they murdered 237 farmers. And then they didn't just murder them any kind of way. They lynched them because they spoke up, because they wanted to have better costs for their seed, and not a better cost, equal cost for their seed, equal to their white counterparts, and they wanted to have equal trade on the market for their crop, the same as their white counterpart. And not because they demanded, they wanted to negotiate the conditions. They just wanted to talk about it. They killed 237 farmers and stole a minimum. And it was way more than that because a lot of black farmers back then had hundreds of acres of land. They stole a minimum of 11,800. We said 11,000, how much? 11,850 acres of land. Because you know what happened when they murdered those farmers? They intimidated their family to get off the land. You know what happens when land is vacated? The government comes in and sees it. And guess who gets that land? Their white counterparts. This is what your Labor Day gets you. It gets you lynched. You understand? This is what happens when you labor to get free. And all you want to do is vote in constituents, your own people, for your community. This ain't even voting for major elections. This is so you can vote for people in your community to speak on behalf of your community. They killed 200 people. 200. In the let me read about I'm gonna read about the race riot in Washington, D.C. I got that on my phone. I wasn't able to they don't have that stat. Let me read that one. Okay. Okay, no, this is in New York, right? So in New York, in July 13th of 1863, they shot, burned, and hanged African Americans they found in the street. Many people were thrown into rivers and drowned. On the fourth day, Union troops returning from the Battle of Gettysburg came into the city and stopped the rioting. You understand? All because Black people were trying to build for their own. You know, one of the most precious places in New York, Central Park, it was once called Seneca Village. It was a place that black people built up for their own. And Native Americans built up for their own. It was their own community. They wiped out their community and they built a park that no one can live on. Rosewood. Oh, and don't let me get started. One of the most legendary ones, Black Wall Street. We built a whole town. It was the wealthiest black town in America. And what do you get for your Labor Day? Murder. Hell on earth. Go ahead, Sapar.
Salaki, it was so heavy that you brought that out. This brings us back to Genesis when King of Abimelech was following Abraham and Isaac, and you know, every time he was building for himself and made that well and found that water, the white man doing the same thing 1,000 years later.
And it wasn't even the white man; it was the Africans. You know what I'm saying? Like every time, you know what I'm saying? Every time Abraham went to go dig a well, the Africans is like, nah, hell with that. You know what I'm saying? It's our land. They threw dirt in his well. Right. You know what I'm saying? They filled his well with earth. Right. You understand? Like, come on. That's heavy. This go all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Like the same toil that we get today for our Labor Days is the same thing that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob got. They met with trouble at every turn. What you was about to say?
It's crazy. All of it, like most of this is happening because they lied to us about our God to make us think that God was white. By them doing that, we was afraid of them and God. So we like did something like rebelled against them in any kind of way. We'll feel like we'll be punished for it.
Well, but the crazy thing about what you're saying is that that's the they know that. That's in the reason why they keep propagating that is because as long as we continue serving other gods and not keeping the commandments that is meant for us from our God, they're able to do anything they want to us. You don't believe me? Give me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you proof. Somebody give me, and we're gonna close here. Somebody give me Judith in the Apocrypha. Somebody give me Judith, the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. Just to prove to you that they know if you don't follow the Lord, they can destroy you. It's in the Bible. Give me the book of Judith in the Apocrypha, chapter 5, verse 20. You're going to read the 21.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor.
So just to give you a backstory, so the Israelites are held up on a high hill in the mountain. Their city is built up high, right? And they're trying to figure out how they can overtake this city because they want this city, right? So the governor and all of his officers are having a conversation. What's the best way to overtake these children of Israel that have been a thorn in our side in this province? Because we want this province. Now read.
My Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
That it shall be their what?
That this shall be their ruin.
Let me show you why. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Quick. This is why he was able to say that. Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. Mm-hmm. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
You understand? So the whole world knows if we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, they can have their way with us and destroy us. Right? Keep reading where you at, Sapar.
Kadamakan. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity,
Hold on, but if what?
but if there be no iniquity
If there be no sin and they keep the law, statutes, and commandments, read.
in their nation, let my Lord now pass by.
He said what?
Let my Lord now pass by.
Let's find out why. Give me Deuteronomy 28:1. Quick.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on
Equal
earth.
with all nations?
Above all nations.
Hand in hand with all nations.
Above all nations.
You understand? He said, hey, if they over there and they ain't no iniquity again amongst them, hey, bro, keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you why. Read.
Kadamakan. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by. Lest their Lord defend them.
Lest their Lord do what?
Lest their Lord defend them.
Keep reading.
And their God be for them.
And what's going to happen?
And we will become a reproach before all the world.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord going to make an example out of you. They know if you don't do what you supposed to do and submit and repent towards the Lord, they can have their way with you. That's why more than 4 blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's why you can't congregate together. It's a loitering law. Because in Haiti, you know what I'm saying, or in the Caribbean islands, or in Brazil, you understand? That's where capoeira came from. You understand? Like we had to move together, we had to train together by making it look like a dance, but we fighting. You understand? And because of capoeira, and we became basically superhuman. Imagine somebody trying to hit you with a club and you look like you dancing on them. You know what I'm saying? And you whooping they behind. You understand? Like you making a fool out of the other nations. So we're gonna make it to where that they can't gather together. Whether it's playing music or whatever, because if they gather together, they're gonna get together and they're gonna rise up against us. So know this of what your Labor Days get you. Our Labor Days have given us nothing but a history of hell in America because we try to labor in vanity instead of trying to labor for the Lord. You understand? And with that, we're going to say Amajium, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayab, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayab, Aisha, Baratazah, Kuwa, Hayab, Bashemayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lacham, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawatinawa, Wala'ab, Tabi'ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'Allah, Wahata Para, La'awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn your face to front. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. Individual, Body Shabbat, Maji, Rock, Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shah Brakatah, Yadamatah, Sar, turn your face to sisters. Individual, Body Shabbat, Maji, Rock, Yahweh Shemar Thah Ba Shim Yahweh Shah, Yadamatah, dismiss.